Two grumpy critics.
There is a man called David Attenborough. He's a bit of a kind of living legend, and I know that in the States you see his various wildlife programs over the years. And way back, he was in charge. He was the controller of BBC Two, one of our TV networks, at the point when it was switching into full-time colour. Mm-hmm. And one of his jobs was to come up with programs that worked really well in colour. So he came up with a program called Pot Black, which was a snooker program. Snooker is notoriously rubbish in black and white because of all the different colours of balls. Careful. And in colour, it worked. Interestingly, in our house, we watched it in black and white. So it was, somebody was going to pot the grey, potting the grey and the whites and the dark grey. And so that was going on. But he invented this, the kind of mega documentary. And there was a guy called Kenneth Clarke, whose son became a kind of very famous MP in the UK. And Kenneth Clarke was a leading scholar, and he did, I think it was an 8-parter, shot in luscious colour on 16mm film called Civilisations. Mm-hmm. And he travelled around the world on an appropriate BBC budget for 1970, brackets not very much, and talked learnedly. The thing was slow, stultifyingly dull, but even going back to it now, you can see that it broke the mould. So clearly Attenborough has kind of lived on the idea of the mega documentary ever since. Bang up to date, a few weeks ago, BBC Two launched, and I didn't get around to it on week one, but they dropped all the episodes into the iPlayer on demand thing. Mm. And Civilisations, and it's basically reinventing that story. It's Simon Shamma, who's kind of, I think he's still New York based, but he's English. Mary Beard, who's occasionally gets a very hard time because she doesn't give a monkey's what she looks like, and some people get annoyed at that. More power to her elbow. Mm. And a guy called David Olusoga, who I've heard on the radio but I'd never seen on TV before. Basically, just telling the story of our civilization through objects and art. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's almost edible to look at. I'll bet it was shot in 4K, though obviously it's being broadcast in HD. And as you're watching it on the television, you can actually hear, if you listen quietly in the background, the whirring sound of pound notes just being burned into an incinerator. It's that beautiful. They've also released an app, which I don't know if it's a UK-only thing or it's international, but there's a kind of an AR/VR app where you can look at one of the objects as if it's like sitting on the table in your room, and you can 360 scroll around it and so on.
Mm-hmm. Fancy.
So they've really worked hard on this. This is obviously a series that's for the ages and is expected to win just, all the prizes. Mm-hmm. But it is amazing. There was a thing, the earliest depiction, I actually took notes on this, of human beauty they can find. It was the Venus de Brasseau-Puy, and it was found in the south of France. It was made of ivory, certainly made of bone, and it was a carved head of a woman, maybe about the size of your thumb or something, maybe slightly larger, 26,000 years old.
Oh.
Wow. And I would have thought the 26,000 years old would have been looking for something sharp enough to laugh at. But no, they had something sharp enough to make depictions. Stunning programme. And the fact that it's got 3 presenters, each authoring an episode of their own in rotation, actually works very well because different people are turned on by different things. It works so well. Such an amazing programme. So I'm giving it 5 ancient relics out of 6.
Nice.
A Radio 6 international production from the USA. Copyright 2018.